So today we're going to talk about TRT.
I don't believe it.
And no, it's not an oil-based like enanthate or cypionate. It's gummy-based.
It's not possible.
So let's jump into this.
And here we go.
So what's happening, guys? Hope your day's going well. Today we're going to review Vintage Muscle's TRT, Olympus TRT. And we're going to go over the ingredients because you guys need to know what's going in your body. And we'll go over my personal experience on this. This is my second bag, so I'll be able to give you guys a real good rundown on what you can possibly get out of taking this product here. So let's jump into this.
Let's go!
So before we jump into the serving size, the ingredients, and the effects, let's get the flavor out of the way. So they sent me an orange flavor. Both bags were orange flavor. And just so you know, candy. Just like candy.
Tastes like hopes and dreams.
This is a 10 out of 10. They did a fantastic job. No aftertaste, just straight candy orange. Now onto the servings. So we have 42 gummies per bag.
That's a lot of pills.
That's going to either be 1 gummy a day at 42 days, or it's going to be 2 gummies a day at 21 days.
Come again?
Now into the ingredient profile. So right on the top of the label, each gummy is 18 calories, and each gummy has 4.3 grams of carbs in it, and 2.8 grams of those carbs are sugars.
That's not terrible.
So first ingredient is Fidodia agrestis extract of 500 milligrams per gummy. So this is supposed to mimic luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, similar to HCG in the body. And the way this works is by increasing your natural production of luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, which are made by gonadotropin releasing hormones that are being produced by the hypothalamus. And then through binding to receptors in the pituitary gland, it stimulates both the release of these hormones, which then stimulates testosterone release by the Leydig cells in the testes. One drawback is they have shown in large dosages, more than we're going to take in supplementation, that it has had a toxicity effect on the testes and the kidneys. So, just being honest with you. Moving on to the next ingredient. Then we have Tongkat Ali at 200 milligrams. So Tongkat Ali has a couple benefits to it. So this lowers cortisol because it's somewhat of an adaptogen. So it's going to help with cortisol levels. It's also going to bind to the estrogen receptors, which is going to have an anti-estrogen type effect to it. Very low level though. But the big kick on this is it's freeing up of testosterone that's bound to sex hormone binding globulin, increasing free testosterone in the body, which is our usable testosterone. That's what's going to give you strength and power and endurance in the gym, taking this ingredient. Moving on to the last ingredient. So now we have one of today's pro hormones. Nothing like it was back in the day. So these are DHEA derivatives. This is 3B hydroxyandrost 4N17-1. Whenever you see the 3B hydroxyandrost or androsterone, that is epiandrosterone. And this is said to convert into dihydrotestosterone, which is DHT within the body, which is an endogenous androgen sex hormone naturally produced through the conversion of the testosterone that we make. And right around 10% of that testosterone is converted into DHT, which is converted by an enzyme called 5A reductase, which is more potent as an agonist to the androgen receptors in selective tissues than testosterone itself. And because it has more androgenic properties than testosterone itself, this is going to help on a cellular level to uptake more amino acids for the increase of muscle protein synthesis for muscle growth and the decrease of muscle protein breakdown. And aside from its ability to increase DHT, it's also been shown to increase testosterone, other sex hormones, and hypolipidic pathways in the body to help with fat loss. So a few of these pathways are exogenous pathways that are involved in the synthesis of cyclomicrons, which are CMs, that are large lipoprotein particles produced in the intestines that primarily function to transport dietary fats, which are triglycerides, cholesterol, and phospholipids from the gut to other tissues in the body via the bloodstream, essentially acting as a carrier for absorption of these fats after meals. Endogenous pathways, which are pathways involved in the synthesis of very low density lipoproteins in the liver, which are then metabolized into intermediate density lipoproteins and low density lipoproteins. Reverse cholesterol transport pathways, which are pathways involved in the transport of excess cholesterol back to the liver so it can be metabolized into high density lipoproteins, HDLs. And cholesterol formation pathways, which are pathways that involve the conversion of mevalonate, which is an organic compound that plays a key part in cholesterol synthesis, cell growth, energy supply, autophagy, and other metabolic processes. Then there's a weak shred of evidence that says it has some cognitive properties to it, where epiandro actually acts on the GABA receptors as a negative non-competitive modulator of these GABA receptors, reducing their activity, making them less responsive, leading to increased neuronal excitability. And then we have some hypothesized weak evidence and conclusions that epiandro actually has the ability to help with blood clotting by blocking thromboxane A2. This is a lipid that plays a role in blood clotting and inflammation that, if left out of control, can contribute to mitochondrial infraction, strokes, and asthma. There's also some weak hypothesized evidence that it also helps with insulin-like growth factor and nitric oxide production within the body. So what was my experience, my effects on taking Olympus TRT by Vintage Muscle? So first, let me start by saying this is not for anybody under the age of 21, because it does have a prohormone, despite the fact that these prohormones nowadays are DHEA derivatives, and they are not as potent and do not have all the side effects that the methylated versions had years ago, which I'm not going to get into. These are safer versions. I'm going to say they're safer, but they still mess with your hormone production.
Hey! What up?
And you are still building and growing your hormones under the age of 21. So it's not something you even wanted to try. Now, a Fadogia agrestis or Tomcat Ali extract from 18 to 21 probably would be fine, but you still don't need it, because if you're production and you're eating well, you're still growing and you're still building your body up. So I don't recommend even natural testosterone boosters under the age of 21. But that's all up to you guys on if you decide to take it.
Your choice, bitches.
So my effects on this, I started off taking one gummy for 2 weeks first, because I wanted to see how I'd react, because the longer I can make this last, the less money that I have to spend if I'm going to continue taking this. And that's what I recommend for you guys. The first 2 weeks, take one gummy before you decide to take two. Now, it does say in the directions you can take up to 3 in a 24-hour period, and all the dosages are pretty much in the realm of doing that. A Fadogia extract is going to be 1,500, which is a little higher than the 1,200 as far as the max that's recommended, but it is what it is. The epiandro is 75, so 2 are going to be 150, and then you're going to throw in, you're going to still be under 300 milligrams, which is actually the recommended dose for epiandro to get some really good effects. And then the Tomcat is at 200, so 2 capsules are going to be 4, and you can be 6. Actually, 600 milligrams for Tomcat is my favorite dose. I never went up to 3. I never had a need to. So let's get into my effects. So I start off with one gummy. I started noticing a little bit of energy from the get-go. I take it in the morning and I work out in the morning. After the 2 weeks, I went up to 2 gummies before training. Power and strength increased for me in the gym.
I guess I'm stronger than I thought.
Now, it wasn't crazy, but I was able to move my max weight a little easier. It felt more controllable. That's the best way to put it. So this is designed to take every single day, because it's supposed to help with some power from the epiandro, which is going to be pretty rapid there, or endurance, and some extra testosterone production, which is going to help with free and total testosterone through the production of DHT, luteinizing hormone, stuff like that. And then they got the Fadogia and the Tomcat. So it's a good combo. Fadogia is supposed to increase your natural production of testosterone, normal testosterone, and then Tomcat is supposed to increase your free testosterone. So you got the 2 natural products that are going to do that, or supposed to, and then you have the epiandro that's going to do pretty much everything that those do, but more in a DHEA derivative, nowadays pro-hormone type effect. They put it together to regulate somebody's testosterone, like a base product, to actually kind of low end dose where somebody can figure out how many gummies they want to take, where they feel the best at, to kind of take a base. Because anything you ever stack, like if you are thinking about doing pro hormones, you want to have some kind of test base. And then you want to stack for anabolic or androgenic effects to build muscle and get, more out of the products there. And then leaving you with this, the old pro hormones had a lot of side effects. It could elevate liver enzymes. It could elevate blood pressure. It's not to say that even though these are more of a natural derivative from DHEA, they're not methylated, there is nothing to say that these will not affect your liver. They will not affect your blood pressure. Everybody's going to react different to these products. So it's always a good idea to protect yourself. And when someone's asking me about like epiandro, should I take a PCT with it, or should I take some liver cleansers? I recommend it all. Like whether it's just some NAC and TUDCA, take them along the cycle just to protect yourself. So be safe. Be safe. Other than that, this is Dave. I'm going to finish this up. I'm gonna leave you guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Don't be afraid to leave some comments down below. If you can, like the video. I would appreciate it so much. Helps the channel grow, helps people actually find the channel as well and this information. You guys have a good one. We will see you guys next time on the channel.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.